All
So
right.
what's up,
So
Russ? What you got for us?
good morning. Yeah, absolutely. So you guys normally do role play here?
Yes.
Yeah, role playing and objection handling and anything else people got on their
Wow.
mind that we need to help them with.
Wow, I should show up for that because I got some stick figures for you guys on that.
You're welcome
Anytime.
anytime.
Yeah, you know what?
Choose.
The funny thing is, Andre, is like you grab almost any of the executives, minus like one off the top of my head would Patrick O'Neill would be lost, but he came out of the airline industry, chief operations guy. He'd be a little bit lost in that, but like everybody else in the leadership team can actually rock and roll in here and play with you guys on objections. So like we've all done the job. We've all done the job at a high level. So and it's like people talk about objection handling and scripts. I'm like, you learn what to say and how to say it and when to say the right thing, and it just becomes 1,000 times easier. 1,000 times easier. So Andre, thank you for the invite. Levi, always great to see you. I jumped on. I was like, "Hi, Levi, what's going on, man?" Like I didn't. I somehow I didn't know that you were going to be on here, so I got super excited. And then of course we got Pickleball Carmen down there. Who can forget Pickleball Carmen if you ever meet her one time? So hey guys, like here's the thing. eXp University has a bunch of really great stuff. And what I've been finding in my new role as the vice president of training for university is a lot of people have no idea what eXp University actually has. Heck, half the time when I ask people, do you know where to find stuff in eXp University? They don't even know where to find it. By the way, I didn't know a bunch of this stuff either because there's so much good stuff going so many different directions. If you're not looking for something specific, it's super easy to have this just blow right over your head. And man, I didn't realize how much great stuff that I was missing across the board. So when we get into like talking about eXp University stuff, man, there's a little bit of everything for you across the board. So I want you to go, if you guys are okay with this, what I'd like to do is I'd like to buzz through like high level details of the parts and pieces of what is available in eXp University, and two reasons for that. Number one, most of you guys need to know where some of this stuff is because we got some great stuff that people don't know about. And then secondly, as you're going through this game, and I know Andre does a lot on attraction, as you're going through this game, there's a bunch of tools that we have that other real estate agents in the industry and in your market could actually benefit from hugely. Like, for example, our fast cap program. We had somebody, I was on a Zoom the other day and I was like, boom, 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 we have this. And Craig actually texted three potential people in his market. He's like, these are three agents. They're lower level producers. I didn't really even I didn't want to fight for them because they're lower level producers. So I just texted them if we could give you realty.com leads, seller pro realty.com leads, would that help? Would that be the thing that saves you this year? And all three of them texted him back within 10 minutes and they're like, absolutely yes, I would join EXP if I could do that. Yeah, three people from one simple line text because it was the thing that they needed, right? So it's like if you got somebody that's completely dehydrated and parched laying on the side of the road and they need water and you're like, "Hey man, I've got some water, you need it?" They're going to be like, "Hell yeah," every time. It's like this whole sales process that we get into, people make it so unbelievably challenging, Ruby. The sales thing is easy. Like if you ask them what they need, then offer to give them what they asked for, they're going to say yes to the vest almost every single time. So we've got to start thinking, how do I make this more simple? Not how do I make this more complicated? So when you guys are doing role play and you guys are doing scripts and you guys are doing objection handlers, like the first thing I want to know is like, what do you need for this to look like a success? Once I find that out, it's super easy to give them what they want. I mean, Beth LaFontaine, I don't know who Beth, you look a little bit weird down there, but okay, whatever, is it got a funny background or something's making it weird, but you
Don't pick on
if
my
you go
wife, Russ.
I'm picking her married to you, sucker. How do you do that, right? She's got this aura glow about her right now. It's like, wow, she's looking angelic down there. So as you go through this process, somebody walks up to you and says, "Hey, do you have any hamburgers?" And what do you say? Yeah, I got hamburgers. Would you like this hamburger? And the person says, what? Yes. If you've got somebody that wants hamburgers and you offer them a hamburger, they're going to want it, right? If you got somebody starving to death right now and they need a couple closings and you offer them fast cap, they're going to say yes because that's what they need in their life, right? And by the way, the cost of the fast cap leads for the people that are in fast cap right now, do you know what the cost is for the agents? Zero, right? And everybody's like, well, Russ, well, so I want to make sure you make this clear, everybody. It's free. I'm like, it's not free. And they're like, yeah, it is free. I'm like, no, it's not free. EXP is covering the cost of it. It costs you nothing. There's a difference when you say to somebody, Ruby, that something's free, then they don't think it costs anything and it's probably not valuable. But when you say the cost of it is being covered by EXP and it costs you $0, that is a completely different feel than free. It has value and it's expensive, and you don't have to pay the bill. I don't know. Somebody here was religious. Somebody is anybody in here religious a little bit? Yeah, okay, okay. I thought I caught something across there somewhere. It's like let's go to church for a second. It's not Jesus, but it's pretty close. He paid the bill, but there was still a price to pay. Okay. So with that said, a couple of years at the theological seminary, Andre. All right. So with that said, let's dig into. I'm going to dig into a quick slide presentation, which I very rarely do, but I think you guys need to see some of these graphics as we go through. I want to make sure you see all things EXP. I'm going to rock and roll for what, about 20 minutes or so, making sure you guys see all the stuff, and then I'm going to stop and pump the brakes, and then you guys can ask me any question on anything you want. Okay? Sound fair? All right, let me get this. Did you guys set me up to present?
You should be
Uh,
okay.
all right, let's see if I can make this work here. Slideshow. All right, good. You guys can see that, I think. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so today we want to make sure we're talking about empowering you guys. Okay. Here is university schedule. This is something that's going on every single week. By the way, do you know where to find university? Andre, where do you find university?
You can go to Okta.
Okay. Hey, Pat, do you know where to find EXP University stuff?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. Would you guys like me to give you a simple answer on where the easiest places to find university stuff is? EX,
Yep.
Yeah.
EXP University,
EXPuniversity.com.
EXPUniversity.com, right? Go to EXPUniversity.com, and particularly if you guys do it on your phone, actually my phone's over here. If you do it on your cell phone, it's really kind of nice because you pop the top corner, the top right corner. It's got three little lines. And when you open that up, then it pops open and it'll show you the top line on there is called training paths. Okay. You can also find EXP University stuff in the My EXP app. How many of you guys are using your My EXP app consistently? That's where you find all things in your dashboard and all that stuff. And that's all the things that are on your phone. So you can find them in either place, but expuniversity.com is probably the best one. It's super easy to find stuff in there. And I like to tap that top right corner with the three lines. And in there, you'll be able to see this training calendar also. So every single day of the week, there is something going on in EXP University that can benefit your business. So you just got to find which one it is. Okay, so the couple that are of interest that you guys might want to keep on mind that are going on a weekly basis is on Mondays, Level Up, which is 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. This is interviews and conversations with people about how they do their business and how they run their business. In addition to that, when you go on to Friday, you look at the Friday Lab. I don't know if you guys can see that. I got to move my little block here. Friday, the lab is Brian Ellington at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He's always talking to real estate agents about how to take their business to the next level. And he actually goes in there and think of it more like a scientific experiment where he's actually pulling apart what they do and how they do it and why they do it and where they do it, and gets into really specific recipes on exactly how to take their business to the next level. Including on Friday, if you guys haven't seen the big agent meeting is at 11 o'clock on Fridays. We've kind of been revamping it a little bit. The production team wanted to go to a pre-recorded version, and they took all the fun out of it and the flavor out of it, I think. And we're putting some of that flavor back into it, and we're bringing it back to becoming a resource for good information for you guys, but also to tell you what's coming up and what's upcoming in EXP University. So, crap thing here. All right, so take a look at this here. If in EXP University, we've got four main plays in the way we run the business in EXP University. There's emerging agents. Define emerging agents. Levi, what do you think an emerging agent is?
I would assume that that's a newer agent or an agent who's getting back into the business.
Yeah, right. So that's a good description for it. Okay, so let me make it a little bit more clear. Emerging agents, for any agents not an icon that wants to be an icon. That's the emerging agent stuff, right? It's the stuff that helps you really move the ball from nuts and bolts to the beginning stuff to the just getting started stuff to the things that get you up towards icon. Then we have a whole series of stuff for icons, and we have our icon lead mastery, which I'll get into in a second. The cool part is it doesn't matter where you are, Levi, in this path in real estate sales, whether you're at 0 or you're at 30 or you're at 150, there's something in there for you, which is pretty cool. Of course, we've got the attractor path, which is how do you attract real estate agents to your business? For most of you guys, your attraction is going to be based off of your production. So think like in the course of doing real estate sales, could I bring somebody along with me to do this that could need a little bit of help? That is in the attractor path, and we've got a program for that. And of course, and we've got multiple programs for teams. How many of you guys are running a team? I can't see all you guys now with my screen the way it is. How many of you guys are running a team? All right. So if you're running a team or know somebody's running a team, what I find is that I spent the last 3.5 years talking to teams and team leads and brokerages that are coming to eXp. And most of the time, Levi, I would ask him a question that goes like this: if you could run this into a brick wall full throttle, light it on fire, walk away, you'd probably make more money and work less hours, wouldn't you? And they look at me and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you know what my business is like." And they're like, "What? Are you in my office? Do you have a camera in here?" Because what happens is a lot of people build a team and they build a team to get freedom. And what they find is that every person they added to their team actually added a bar to their cage. They didn't actually build freedom. They actually built more restrictions and they made it harder for themselves to be personally successful. So
Mhm.
team mastery is a couple program we have. We have the Team Leader Academy. Got a number of different things that are available for teams. So if you know somebody has a team and they're struggling, we've got stuff for them. Okay. If you look here, this ties to the actual program that goes along with it. So in the icon thing, we've got icon lead mastery program. In the emerging agents, we've got Fast Cap and the Mentor Playbook. Attractors, we got Fast Attract, Sponsor in a Box, Team Mastery, and Team Leader Academy. So check this out. Let's give you a couple stats for Fast Cap. Do you guys realize how powerful Fast Cap is? If you haven't done Fast Cap and you need to sell more houses, jump into Fast Cap. There's a cohort starting April 1. And the people in Fast Cap during Fast Cap, while they're completing Fast Cap, on average got 3.8 buyer listing appointments per person during the 6 week plan, right? And listing agreements, buyer agreements, and listing agreements, 1.6 per person. And then eXp pulled, we were able to pull the stats for the people that have done Fast Cap. And when you look at the people that have done Fast Cap, the ones in it and the ones that are out of it, completed it, the buyer and listing appointments per person is up to 6.9, and the buyer and listing agreements per person is 3.9. So when you look at your average agent in the market and your average agent in the company and look at the people that have done Fast Cap, the number is astronomically higher, and the number of success and the rate of success is substantially higher when people have done Fast Cap. So good news is 21,000 people have registered for Fast Cap at various times. But you know what? Here's the thing, Levi. How many people complete that?
That's the thing.
That's the thing, right? It's you got to show up, you got to show up, you got to show up. So one of the things that we did with Fast Cap is Fast Cap gave. Where did my slide go? Man, these slides are all messed up today. I don't know why these slides are messed up. Fast Cap actually decided to bolt together with Realty.com. How many of you guys know of Realty.com? Okay, a little bit, a couple people here and there. Yeah, so FastCap actually has collaborated with Realty.com. So if you jump into the FastCap program right now, for the 6 weeks you're in FastCap, they're going to give you, eXp is going to cover the cost of Realty.com leads for you for the time you're in FastCap. And if you complete the FastCap program, Levi, guess what? They're going to keep that puppy going for the next 10 and a half months. So you can have Realty.com Seller Pro leads available to you for a full 12-month span. So how many of you guys could use a little more business like that? That's what Fast Cap is all about. All right. So how many of you guys know about Fast Attract? Have you done Fast Attract? Levi, did you do Fast Attract?
No, I haven't gone through it yet,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
I've been
Cool.
hearing
So
good things about it.
yeah, it's a lot. It's a
I
lot.
did
I
it.
So
It
think,
was
I mean,
and I
intense. It
think
was
we have,
intense.
Yeah, we got a few people that have been through it in our group.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw Angie put her hand up there. Thank you, Angie. Yeah, so fast attract is there's a bunch of real estate agents out there who are like, well, Russ, we've got the bucket where we trade time for money selling houses, and then we've got the other bucket which is trade time for money attracting real estate agents. And what I've been teaching people is we've got this kind of set up a little bit different and a little bit wrong. Instead of looking at it as two separate businesses, you got to start looking at it as like I'm going to focus on selling houses, but in the process of selling houses, I'm going to bump into some real estate agents. Levi, you bump into real estate agents all the time, right?
All the time. Yes,
All
sir.
the time, right? So, like, how do we get into that conversation with them as we're going through? So, Fast Attract has a bunch of information on how to work through that. It's got scripting, it's got systems, it's got the ability to show you a bunch of different ways that you can do attraction. And in there, you can find a recipe that you like. Think of it like this: it's kind of like a cookbook. Most of our big program stuff is like a cookbook. And what you just got to do is kind of leaf through that thing. And as you're going through the cookbook, you're going to see something, Pat, and you're going to be like, ooh, I like that. That looks good. Right? I'm going to cook that. Right? And that's all you're doing as you're going through the fast cap program. You're going to make sure you're moving through there, fast cap and fast attract. You're going to move through there and you're going to find some of the recipes that you like to take your business to the next level. The next cohort for fast attract, Levi, is coming up on April 27. It meets 3 days a week for 1 hour. And then you work through for 6 weeks, you work through all of the details on how to build an attraction business and build a system that works for you while you're doing your business. Cool. All right, so for solo agents and team agents, we've got the top solo agent team mastery, and we've got top solo agent mastery mastermind, and we've got the team leader masterminds, which are hosted by Leo Pareja. These are for people that are qualifying in our top 250. So our top 250 get personal attention with Leo Pareja talking about being a solo agent, taking your business to the next level, and also being a team. How many of you guys are playing with AI at all right now? Anybody? How many of you have no idea where you're playing with it, but you don't really know what you should be doing with it? Like, what do I really should be doing with this instead of like asking it if it can make me look like a turtle? Like, what would I look like if I was a turtle? That's the kind of stuff I did on it for a while because it was funny, right? So within eXp, we've got the blessing of being able to have all of these people here that are actually become AI experts. All of them have a little bit different way of doing things. All of them have a little different system. For some of them, it's about building business. For some of them, it's about making things simple. For some of them, it's about how to build better relationships. I actually just saw Jasper Champagne on stage in Baton Rouge on Monday. I just got home yesterday, and he was on stage and he was walking through some really basic stuff on how to actually just make yourself look better and streamline some of the back end of the business so it's not as challenging and it makes you look better. His whole thing is about making him look better. He's really big into that. When you watch him talk through it, it's actually humorous. Some of the things he did, he's like, here's something I used. I used 5 different programs to see which one made me look the best. And for him, it was look the best was look good and look like him versus looking like something that didn't really look like him. So there's a bunch of really great techniques and tools that are out there in the AI world. And these guys actually open up their playbooks and talk through specific things. And most of them are giving actual specific prompts. It's like just plug this into your large language model and it'll spit out the details and the information that you need. So make sure you start plugging in. I don't think AI is going to take over the world yet. I think eventually it could. Is it going to take your job? Yes, if you don't build relationships, right? If you don't build relationships, it's going to be really hard for you to survive. So what you've got to do is use AI to support you building better and better quality relationships, and you'll be just fine as this thing goes on. Okay. So icon lead mastery. So Levi, let me ask you, icon lead mastery, who is that for?
That is for everybody, but really, I'm going to say for the icons.
Based on the name of it, based on the name of it, I'm like, am I allowed to show up? Because I'm not an icon. Like, am I allowed to show up for this thing? Right. So, icon lead mastery is actually for everybody in the company. A lot of people have said, well, I thought it was for icons. So, Levi, you've been around for a minute. Back in the day, 2.5, 3 years ago, do you remember what the big agent meeting was called?
Was it the BAM?
I changed it to big agent meeting. It was actually called agent leadership meeting. So I get in there and I was like, "Hey Levi, man, are you going to the agent leadership meeting on Friday?" And your response was, "Well, like I'm not in leadership." I'm like, Okay, this name of this thing is stupid because everybody thinks that it's for not them, right? So we changed the name to Big Agent Meeting, and the attendance on Fridays went from like 200, 300 to 1,400 because of
Mm.
people, just because we named it different and they felt like they were included in it, right? So Andre, we
That's
call it
something we
Big
talk
Agent
about a
Meeting.
lot. We talk
Yeah.
about naming things the right way, giving unique
Yes.
names. It makes a difference.
Yes, absolutely. Great point, right? So if people don't feel like it's for them, then they're not going to make it for them, right? So Icon Lead Mastery is for all of you guys. And if you look at this graphic here, all of it starts with a hub, DB and SOI. So database and sphere of influence is the hub for everything. So as you guys are going through and all of the things you're doing, you should be starting to think like all of the things I should be doing are to build my sphere of influence in my database. So the things that I'm doing out and about in public is to build that sphere of influence and database. We actually have a 2 hour training on how to work your sphere of influence and database and get that functioning like a system. And Andre, here's what you need to look at that like. It's like your database and sphere of influence, getting that right is your bucket, right? So we got a lot of real estate agents out there. Have you heard this, Andre? Man, Andre, real estate is hard.
Yeah.
We hear it
Some
all the
people.
time, right? It's hard. And I keep saying, guys, the reason it's hard is because you're looking at it wrong most of the time, and you haven't done the important thing, which is to patch the holes in your bucket. So everybody's got a bucket. Some people have a couple holes in it here and there. Some people have a bucket with no bottom in it. And then somebody's like, "Oh, Levi, you got to go out and collect water." And you're like, I'm out there working my butt off." I'm like, "Yeah, but your bucket doesn't have a bottom in it, right?" So if you're going to collect water to put out a fire, what would you do? Grab your bucket with a bunch of holes in it and just start swinging like crazy, you're never going to put the fire out. But if you patch the bucket first, then you start to collect water, then you start to put out the fire, it makes it 1,000 times easier. So we want to think of your database and your sphere of influence. All of the things I'm doing are to get this set up so that when I get a human being that wants to communicate with me, that I make it easy for them to stay in my bucket. So the database and sphere of influence, get that set up. And then from there, there's a bunch of different programs that actually do the things that fill that bucket up. So patch the bucket first, then do the things to fill the bucket up. So let me show you a couple of examples here. Icon Lead Mastery has the database and sphere of influence, and you guys can look into this system. It's 2 hour training class. Doing it again on April 14th. And this gives you the basics on how to work your sphere correctly, how to build it. And included in there, we have playbooks by top icons on exactly what they do, how they do it, where they do it, when they do it, why they do it. So you have turnkey recipes. So, Pat, would you like to just wing it in the kitchen and try to figure something out randomly? Or would you like to follow a recipe if you've got me coming over and you got to cook me food?
Follow the recipe.
Well, find a recipe and follow it, right? Absolutely. And then
Yeah.
once you master the recipe, then you can start making adjustments to it. And I know Pat, she's gonna be like, this needs a little bit of Cajun spice in here, do a little bit of hot sauce, right? She's gonna make it spicy because that's the way we want to roll, right? You got to do the recipe and then you start doing creativity with it. Okay. So that program starts April 14th. So if you don't have and haven't had a sphere of influence system and build that into your business, you got to do that now. Do that first. Check this out. Icon Lead Mastery also has a thing on open houses. Levi, have you ever done open houses?
Oh yes, plenty of them.
Did they pay off well for you? Did you have good conversion with that for you?
They have, but we've also had some that felt like it was a waste of time. But in most cases, they're pretty good.
Yeah, so in certain markets, in certain time periods, in certain market conditions, open houses, you can literally just go do the open house, open the door, and it's a flood. So when there's a really low supply of homes, open houses work really great because you just open the door, put a sign out in front, and man, people pop in there, right? But when the market isn't moving as fast, which is happening in some markets right now, you pop the open house sign out there, throw a couple balloons on it, and sit in that house. You could sit in there for 2 or 3 hours and have nothing going on. You could sit there through the whole Super Bowl and nobody shows up, right? So what I found is when I was doing business in Tampa, we were doing open houses and the boss taught us to do open houses, right? And I was like, I did this week after week after week after week after week after week after week and saw nobody because we were in a market that was getting crushed. And what I realized now watching this open house series is the reason I wasn't getting anything out of it and making it actually convert is because I wasn't doing what these guys were doing. So we've got the top agents that actually built their business from open houses, actually open up their playbooks. And when you look at what they did, Levi, versus what I did, I wasn't doing it right. I wasn't even doing a quarter of what was the right way to do an open house. So these guys actually open up their playbooks and show you exactly what they do, exactly when they do it, exactly how they do it. Heck, we've got one guy that actually shows a map of how he lays out the signs because he's got a strategic way of laying out the signs that actually drives more traffic to his open houses. So if you guys haven't seen that program, jump in and jump in and take that. And the key, by the way, for open houses is to get people's information so you can add value to them over time. Because we know the people that show up at open houses, like 50% of them buy a house within a year. So if you can have a pile of people and a system to take care of them for the next year, this is how you can actually get real business moving towards you. So within there, they also have some giveaways for you guys, like open house ponds. Did you know there's 8 different ponds? So when somebody comes in an open house and say, there's 8 different places you can find a house, and we can send you something that shows you what they are. So there's things that go along with that that help you actually take the business to the next level. Now, March 26th. You know when March 26th is? Andre, when's March 26th?
It's
tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, baby.
Thursday. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. So tomorrow we're doing the first run of likes to leads. And this is part of the Icon Mastery series, which is for all of you. And I will be actually teaching a program standing right here. And the program is a 2-hour session on how to actually convert from Instagram. How many of you guys are doing a good job converting from social media? A lot of people are struggling with that. They're like, I do a lot of social media, but I don't really convert from it, Andre. So this program is actually all of the people that were interviewed for the material and the content for the Icon Lead Mastery program. All of them are closing over $500,000 in GCI a year from Instagram. So you might be like, okay, well, what are they doing? Obviously, I'm like me in open house. Obviously, I'm not doing it right because I'm not seeing anything like that type of conversion. So what are they doing? And we actually open up the playbook. So I've been studying and studying and studying. They interviewed 18 different people for the content for this program, all of them converting at a high level from Instagram. And I'm going to be showing you guys what their playbooks are and the nuts and bolts on how to move through actually getting Instagram working well for you. In there, there's a couple of recipes that you're going to like. I saw one or two of them. I've just like more. If I was doing this again, I would be using that recipe because that is exactly how I do my business. So Icon Lead Mastery tomorrow, likes to leads 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and you can register in expuniversity.com.
Is that Eastern
All
time?
right. That is Eastern time, yeah. And one of the things that's in there, guys, by the way, is here's 11 different types of social media posts. So you don't have to figure it out. Haha, skip past it too fast. Okay. Social media posts, we actually give you what you should be posting. Okay. It's not like when you come out of there, you're like, this is exactly what you post, exactly how you post it, exactly where you post it. Okay. If you guys want to take a look, you can hit this QR code. This QR code actually shows you some of the playbooks. So you can actually get a quick preview. It's like, what is in the playbook? You grab that QR code right there, and we'll give you guys 4 of these. So you got a sample. And if you're like, well, Russ, I just read the thing with Bell Tunsil, and I don't really want to do it that way. Cool. That's one of 10 recipes that we'll be showing tomorrow. Somewhere in there is a recipe that you're going to like and you're going to want to do. So make sure you grab that and run. All right. A lot of information in a very short period of time. You guys
Yes.
overwhelmed? You're like, that's a lot of stuff for us. Yeah, Ernest is like, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so let me give you the rest of the story here, guys. I want you guys to just find one thing. Find one thing. You're like, what is that thing? That one thing that I need in my business? Do I need more people in my database? Cool. You probably should, and a system for my database. If I don't have one, I need one. Do that. If you do nothing else, do that. If you've got a good system for your database, so once it's raining, you got a way to collect the rain. If you've got a system for that, cool. Then what do you need more of? I need more people that are going to be buying and selling in the next 12 months. Great. You can do that through Instagram. Jump on the Instagram program we're talking tomorrow. You could do it through open houses. You can do it through a number of different branches. So just think, what do I need? And just think, okay, if I need something, eXp has something for me at a high level. And we're continuing to build. Part of the reason I'm in this role and able to do this, it frees Brian Ellington up to be able to actually do more building and interviewing more people and putting together more training programs that give you guys the ability to make this make sense. Sound good? All right, so I'm going to pause.
Yes.
That's a lot. So you guys can do whatever you guys want now. You can say, hey, but Russ, thanks, goodbye, or you're welcome to scratch my brain around a little bit if you want.
Thank you, Russ. A lot of good information, man. Let's. I know there's some questions for Russ. You guys can throw your hands up or just come on off mute.
Hey Russ, is there anything that's you guys are working on that you can tell us something new that we don't know about yet that's coming down the pike that you can share? Because I know you guys are
Yeah,
always working on new stuff.
they're always working on new stuff. So actually working on the playbooks and the training sessions for each one of the individual setups for social media. So social media's got Instagram ones now. That's the first one we're rock and rolling. There's going to be one for Facebook. There's going to be one for YouTube. There's going to be one for
Nice.
TikTok. So all of those are being built out, and you tomorrow is the first run of likes to leads and how to actually convert off of Instagram and convert off of social media. So that is the newest and the latest and the greatest, and hasn't even run yet. So coming soon to a theater near you tomorrow. So that one's going to be a
Awesome.
wild one. As far as the rest of the stuff that goes out, most of the other stuff are sworn to secrecy.
All right.
Reason being is we've got EXPCon Canada coming up, and we got EXPCon US coming up, and they always want us to have some surprises and some things that nobody knows about. So they always like to save those for the big ones. So great question, and I'm not saying nothing.
And we got another good question in the chat. Any information about the new construction certification?
Yeah, so the new construction certification just came out, so you guys can find that link to that in your enterprise. That basically starts off with saying like, okay, how do I make connections? How do I build connections? How do I work with new construction? How many of you guys have new construction in your market? Couple of you guys, yeah. So if you have new construction in the market, the one thing that I found a long time ago was we took one of my brokerages. Well, we I took one of the brokerages that I was running, and we partnered with a lady named Kimberly Mackey, and we started digging into doing new construction. What we found is over the next 12 months, our bottom line went up like 15% just from new construction. The average agent in our office made 15% more dollars because they were doing more new construction. So the key with new construction is to learn how to do it and do it right and do it well. The key to new construction is actually building the relationships and knowing what the local builders are doing. There's also some recipes within there to be able to talk through how do you actually make the connection and how do you actually leverage the new construction in your local market. If you guys haven't gone out and shot a video showing what your new construction is like and what the new homes are like in your market, and started putting that on social media, you're missing out on a massive, easy lead conversion magnet. Because what happens is people are on the market looking for new homes. Look, it's like new homes Tampa, new homes north of Detroit, new homes Northville. People are looking for that all the time. And if you're the one that shows the tour and shows a video of what's going on in new construction, the new construction people love it when you come in there and shoot video of their place and promote their places. They love it. Most of the builders love it when we promote their buildings. So it gives you a resource for something you can promote. So if you don't have a listing right now, you should be out and hitting all the new home construction stuff and shooting tours of that. It's like, hey, I'm Russ Laggan, real estate dude. I'm giving a tour of, did you know we've got this place called Fountain? The Fountain. So let me show you what the fountain looks like. And you just pop a bunch of pictures up on there. You can drop that into AI, drop in all the pictures, and AI will actually build you a video slideshow of what's going on in that neighborhood. So new construction, new homes division is actually pretty cool. And by the way, they're trading information on how to work business. So you become part of a community that talks new homes. So learn that language.
That was a whole mouthful right there.
Whew. Sell more houses, make more money, make higher commissions per sale. That's new homes. Yeah. How many of you guys have used the hub? Andre and Levi, are you guys shoving these guys to use the hub?
We haven't really started, I haven't started promoting it a whole lot. I didn't know if you guys were ready for us to start using it. I mean, I know
Yeah.
I have been a little bit, but
We're promoting. So you want new. It's not been pushed yet from a corporate standpoint at a high level. It's been kind of a low level buzz because we're trying to do a ramp up like this as opposed to a ramp up like this and break it. So
yeah.
so yeah, you can start talking about Hub. So hub.exprealty.com. That is basically the new workplace. Facebook, by the way, if you guys haven't heard the story, everybody's like, well, Russ, why did eXp shift from Workplace? That was crazy. Why did they do that? Because this new Slack thing sucks. And the answer is yes, I agree. Slack sucks. By the way, I was in a meeting and I'll paraphrase, but it's pretty close to a quote. Glenn Sanford was sat in the meeting. He's like, nah, 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 nah. I told you agents would hate Slack because Slack sucks. It's almost a quote. It's pretty close. If he was here, he'd be like, "Yeah, pretty close to what I said." Uh, but the issue was Facebook shut down Workplace and Workplace Chat. They weren't able to run it efficiently. They weren't able to run it profitably. So they're like, "Why are we spending all this time, energy, and effort on something we don't make money on?" So Andre, I had person after person say, "Well, Russ, why doesn't EXP just buy Workplace and run it?" And it could be another business income stream. And my response was, if Facebook can't make money with it, there's no way in hell we're going to make money with it because Facebook has all the infrastructure to actually do that. We don't. We'd have to build that from scratch, right? So we went to Slack, which was the least painful of the choices that weren't good. Think of it like it's the biggest loser. You don't want to be a loser, but it's the best loser. Um, so we went to Slack because it was really the only thing that was available at the time that could do most of what we needed it to. And then, of course, Glenn got sick of hearing people complain about it to the point where he's like, screw it. And he sat down and built his own. So he built out Hub over 30 days. He said he spent an inordinate amount of time building it out. And it's still a work in progress. But the cool part is if you go into Hub, it's looking more and more like Workplace by the minute. And on the left side, if you go into Hub and there's something wrong, on the left side, there's a little icon that looks like a light bulb. And if you've got a suggestion or you have an issue if something's not working properly, click on that puppy for us and then type in what you got and what's not working. And there's a whole team of people that literally monitor that thing day and night to make sure that they're solving the problems and fixing things when they come up. So make sure you guys jump in there and kick around a little bit and start getting used to that because that's where everything EXP is going to be based out of there at some point. Good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've been playing with it a little bit, and it has, everything the old one that Workplace had,
Yeah.
but they're adding a lot of stuff. You can click a button, right, and it changes the language to
Yes.
whatever the language is in that country. We didn't have that
Yes.
before.
Yeah, that is a wild one. Yeah. So you've got a bunch. I think there's 20 something different languages that they can actually run that thing in, which is pretty neat. All right. Any other questions about anything else, even non-EXP university related? The link for Hub is hub.exprealty.com. You're
I think
welcome.
many people are just maybe surprised at what they did not know. Even myself hearing new things, and I've been around forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you, when I started over there, I was like, I didn't know that, and I didn't know that, and I didn't know that, and I didn't know that. And if I don't know that, that means a bunch of people don't know that. So part of my job is to make sure people get out there and know what is available at their fingertips. And again, guys, just find that one thing. I don't go downstairs to my kitchen at night and I'm like, okay, I'm hungry, I'm gonna make dinner. I don't make 5 recipes at one time. I make one, and tomorrow I'll make another one, right? So find that one recipe that you need and then take your business to the next level. Keep it simple.
Somebody
Are
put
you
a
going to be
question in
attend?
the chat. Says, "What's the most effective way of getting referrals from fellow EXP agents?" Because
Well,
Slack's not working.
okay. Currently, let's see. Currently, there's so great question. What's the best way to get referrals from EXP agents in various markets? Well, so there would be two things that would be important. Number one, Shannon Maxwell put together an EXP referral group in Facebook, and there's some 8,000 people in there, I believe. So if you jump into Facebook and type in EXP referral, they actually have a gatekeeper there, and they monitor that. So it's only EXP agents that are allowed in there. Every once in a while, somebody will tap and be like, "Hey, man, somebody non-EXP is asking me about." It's not. They're not allowed in there. If they get found sneaking in there or accidentally get in there somehow, they boot them back out. So they do a scrub of that thing like every month to make sure it's only EXP agents in there. So that's one. Based off of Facebook, and Shannon Maxwell put that together. That was pretty cool. And then secondly, uh, you've got to stand out in your market. Do you know what makes you stand out in your market more than anything else right now? YouTube. You might say YouTube. Russ, what do you mean YouTube? How many of you guys have a YouTube channel? How many of you guys have a YouTube channel and you add content to it consistently? Okay,
Mhm.
so having a YouTube channel and adding content to it consistently will be is probably the best way to stand out right now. One of the things they're finding with the large language models like Gemini and ChatGPT and Claude is that the way that they scrub for information actually ties directly to Google, and Google ties directly to YouTube because it owns YouTube. So can you imagine a scenario where Google owns YouTube? So what does Google want to show you more than anything else, unless something else is really great? Google's going to show you something YouTube. That's why when you go in and do searches for almost anything in Google, a lot of times you're like, man, every time I do a search, it pops up a video on how to do it on YouTube. And that's because Google owns YouTube and wants to keep pushing people into its own funnel because that's where the advertising dollars are. So we've got a number of different agents. I've got a guy actually in Naples, Florida named Josh Otto. He started building small, short YouTube videos talking about what's going on in his market, where the dog parks are, where the best golf courses are, 3 bars that are fun to hang out on a Friday, all of the things that are Naples related. He started doing that and then including doing home tours of all the new home and new construction in the market. And he started to get hits and hits and hits and hits and hits. He's probably got 5 different deals under contract in the last month due to his YouTube channel. And it's not a ton of stuff. You like guys, this is the cool part about a YouTube channel for you guys. People are so horrified by putting their face on video, Levi, and the way they look and the way they sound that they refuse to do it. So they don't do the video that they need to do. So the majority of real estate agents are never going to do the video. And if they're never going to do the video, then it makes it way easier for you to stand out because nobody's doing it. So if you just pop together a YouTube channel, you don't even have to put yourself in front of it. You can do a narration with video and narration of you showing other people stuff. And you don't have to have your face in it all the time. Do you want to have a slide with a picture of you so they know who you are? And by the way, let me tell you about this. And then do a slideshow video and drop that on your YouTube channel so everybody that's in that market knows where to find stuff. Do you know where the 5 best golf courses are in your market? If you don't and haven't done a video on that, you should. Do you know where the 5 best value golf courses, the best value golf course in your market is? If you haven't done a video on that, you should. And Pat's like, well, Russ, I'm not into golf. Right, but your customers potentially are. If you got a customer that is, they're going to be like best golf course in Tampa. And then the Pat's going to pop up like, hey, here's the 5 best golf courses in Tampa. And if you need to talk about houses, I'm your girl. You don't need to know doodly do about golf, but you can become the expert for that, right? So you got to start thinking, what are people looking for? What are they searching for? If you go into a search engine, go into Google and type in your city and look what comes up. You do a short video and throw that on YouTube for that. And then the large language models will be like, well, people are searching for best Italian dish in Tampa, best this, but they're looking for the best places to take a walk, best places to take your kids, fun things to do on vacation, spring break, what that's the things they're looking for. And when that pulls up, man, every time I pop that up, Andre's got a video on something. He's got a short video telling you what's going on. And the large language models start to go, well, Andre's the guy because he's got the stuff people are looking for. So when they start, people don't typically Google real estate Tampa. They're looking for houses. They're not looking for real estate agent. They're looking for houses. By the way, here's 5 of the best. Here's 5 new neighborhoods you need to know. By the way, here's a historic neighborhood you need to know. You guys can do that in your downtime. If you don't have a property currently under contract, I would do only that because that's how people are being found. So how do you get found with eXp? By the way, eXp agents, since the other system went down with Workplace, if you're outside of that Facebook model, what are eXp agents doing? They're looking for eXp agent Tampa. So should you have something that says a video says eXp agent Tampa, eXp agent Detroit, eXp agent Charlotte? You're darn right they should. It makes it easier to find. If an eXp agent can't find you in your market, your buyers and sellers can't find you in your market either. Good answer?
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
awesome. I want to also add there's the eXp agent referral portal as well. You can Google that or just type in agents.exprealty.com.
Yep.
Um, and if you don't know about that, go check it out and put your profile in there and put the information about yourself. So I when I have a referral, I always check my phone and check my database and send it to one of
Yep.
you guys, somebody in our personal group. But if I don't have anyone in my personal group in that area that a referral is going through, you can go into there. Of course, you can look at our Honey Badger group too and our Agent Builders group, right? But if we don't have anyone in our own personal group, then you can go to that portal and every agent should be in there. Make sure you're in there and what areas that you cover in your bio and your picture because I've done that and looked for somebody in an area that I didn't have any of my business partners in. And if there's no picture, there's no bio, I'm thinking, okay, well, they can't do that. They're probably
Yep.
let's at least go to somebody that does. So make sure that's done for
Yeah.
yourself.
If you friend request me on social media and you don't have a profile photo, the answer is automatically no.
Hmm.
Like you can't even be bothered to put your face on there. You're not like no. Like you don't get to watch my stuff. You got to do your part, right?
Looks like Dan Hillsman's got a question there. He's
Yeah.
had his
I
hand
say
up for a
I see
minute.
Dan.
Hey, Russ, really appreciate you hopping on today, helping our group out. And my quick thought for the agents that in the group that may have someone that's looking at eXp on the fence, get them into our Agent Builder Facebook page and have them watch this recording. How priceless was that? Russ, you did a great job communicating some of the opportunities that eXp agents have with production, and we greatly appreciate you.
Yeah, there's a thank you for that. So that is the solution, right? So when Andre, when people ask me about attraction, what's the best way to do attraction? First thing I'm going to do is figure out what do they need. That's it, right? Like, what do you need right now? Like right now in your business, what are you missing? What's not working? Do you need another sale right now? If you need another sale in the next 2, 3 months to save your butt, we've got a plan for that. It's called Fast Cap. Starts on April. By the way, there's multiple Fast Caps. Fast Cap starting about every 3.5, 4 weeks. There's another cohort of Fast Cap starting. So, uh, like if somebody needs a couple more sales this year, boom, you need to be doing Fast Cap. If you haven't done that, this gets you in your system for you to be the best you and collect the checks versus having the stuff slipping through your fingers. Okay, a lot of people are out there like a real estate agent. They're trying to hold water in their hand, right? And the harder they squeeze, what happens? The harder they squeeze, the faster it squirts out, right? So this teaches you how to actually build a system to collect the water, collect the deals, collect the cash, collect the sales, and get yourself into a system that actually works. Good. Thank you, Dan.
Hey Russ, we got these regional rallies coming up. Can you talk a little bit about those and are we going to be able to spot you at one or two of them over the next
Yeah,
couple
well,
of months?
I've already done two of them.
Have you? Which ones have you
I've
done
already done two.
already?
Yeah, let's go, baby. Yeah, so there's 22 regional rallies around the country, and one of the things that's really important, guys, is a lot of people will say like feeling like you're in a sense of community, feeling like you're part of something is a key to success. And what they've actually found is studies will show that somebody feels like they're part of something and feel like they're part of a community like this. You feel like a part of community. That is actually a precursor to success. So it's feeling a part of community, and then the success grows because of that. So with that said, going to one of the regional rallies is a great place to feel connected. Most of the regional rallies now, they do a recognition portion, but most of them are getting really intentional about adding value and showing a bunch of different perspectives on how you can add business. I did the Detroit rally Thursday last week, and I was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Yes, I just got back yesterday from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm going to be in Fort Lauderdale next week. The week after that, I'm in Northern California, Sacramento area, and then the week after that, I'm in Orlando. 2 weeks after that, I'm in Atlanta, and then I'm in Vancouver, and I'm in I'm in
Oh wow.
Vancouver, and I'm in New Orleans. That's my next 8 weeks, guys.
Well, we'll see you in
Yeehaw!
Orlando. We already got our tickets. Anyone go to Orlando and Southwest Florida, connect up with me so we're trying to get a van together to go together. But yeah, I just put the link in the regionalrallies.exprealty.com in the chat there. Click on that and find out um, the closest one to you. You know, some of them might be Fort Lauderdale, obviously Atlanta. Um, and there's Canadian regional rallies too this year, right, Russ?
I believe they've got a couple of them going. Yes.
That's the link is only the US on there, but if you Google probably Canada regional rallies, EXP, you should be able to
Yeah.
find that because I know there's a few out there as well.
Well, and you've got eXpCon Canada coming up too. So that's right at the tail end of the rallies is eXpCon in Vancouver, Canada. If you guys haven't been to Vancouver, it is a really cool city to check out.
Yeah, usually they do the Canadian ones towards the fall.
Yeah, I think that's because they do
Right,
the
in the
Canadian,
spring. Yeah.
yeah, eXpCon. So
And the
that's
rallies
the
are
thing.
really cheap. I mean, they're like usually 20, 30, $40 or whatever, just enough to
Yeah,
cover, whatever they, I mean, they're put on by the agents, right? There's the
yeah,
agents like Levi, I know did a lot for Atlanta. It's the agents putting on, but the company is
yep.
backing them and helping as well. But that's who's running these things. And they're really good. So you want to get your teams there. Great for referrals, great for just connecting with other EXP people, and but bring a guest. Bring at least one guest with you, just to come check out their community. The more you get your friends that are not EXP in our environment, in those live events, in these calls. That's why we leave these open to everyone. Um, you know they start
And
they start feeling connected and will partner with us when if they're not getting it where they're currently at. We all help each other out.
Good stuff. Somebody put in the chat, when is the Atlanta rally? The Atlanta rally is going to be April the 26th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's at the Georgia International Convention Center near the airport. But Andre did post that link in the chat. If you click on that link in the chat, you can see where all of the regional rallies are around the country.
Awesome.
Yep, and I'd recommend too is if you have, even if you say you're going to the Orlando one, but you have a real estate friend that's in Fort Lauderdale or in Atlanta or whatever, um, call up that real estate friend and invite them to go to that rally, even if you can't go. But just tell some of your other Atlanta partners like us, that'll be there, or you can look up on the regional rallies on that link, and when you click on that city, it'll tell the leaders like Russ and Amy and Leo and the EXP leaders that are going to be there. And you can always reach out to them and say, "Hey, I want to connect you up. You got to um, look for this person." And I've done that before and gotten people that connected EXP and actually joined after going to a rally, and I wasn't even there. But I invited them and I told them I'd buy their ticket if they promised to show up and go because I wanted to invest into our business real estate relationship. And if you can get people there, just tell some of your partners that will be there that or leadership, and they'll talk to them, make them feel at home, and then you just follow up with them later. So
You got
a
it.
lot of
Awesome.
different ways to get people connected.